set up an entire European operation, manufacturing in the state of Saxony in Germany, and distributing through France, Germany, North Africa, and possibly Uzbekistan.
Wow.
So, good way to start the day.
Great start.
Yeah.
Tell me what your background is. Ira's one of the foremost investors for a long time. He's been there, done that, and we had the opportunity to meet through one of our mutual friends. I believe it was Ira Rosen.
Ira Rosen, yeah.
Right. You were in a one-on-one. Just share a little bit about your background.
It's insane. I started out life as a scientist. And then one day I went home and I said to my then wife, mother of my son, I said, look what I did. There's a publication in the most prestigious scientific journal in the country. And she said, that's nice. We got to do some food shopping. Got enough money for the dog and the cat or the kids. Which shall it be? Whoa! And miracle of miracles, the next day I got a telephone call from some acquaintances. They said, we're starting a software company. We'd like you to be one of the founders. And they tripled my salary, which was a nice thing to do. And they said, we're going to give you an expense account, which I understood. And they said, we're going to give you stock options. And what's that? Well, I took the job. It took me about 1 nanosecond to make up my mind. And in a year's time, I built them a magnificent company. The chairman came to me and he said, we want to take this company public. You'll do it. I said, what do I know about public? Smart guy, you'll learn. And I did. Took the company public through Mayflower Securities in New Jersey. 5 cents a share. 3 months later, it was worth $1.50.
Whoa.
And I had 2 million shares. That's the stock I
That's a
said,
good
I
first
can
start.
do this.
You're a fast learner.
Oh my God. And for the next 40 years or so, that's what I've been doing. Taking companies public, funding them. I do it on a private basis. I do this on a public basis.
He has some very interesting ways to raise money that most of us aren't familiar with, but he's been doing it for a long time. He's very good at it. Very credible. His resources are fantastic. He's made a couple of introductions for me. Excellent, excellent guy to know. I really appreciate you coming down today.
Well, we love you. What can I tell you? So there was no choice.
Introduce your son.
Thanks much. Okay. Well, my name's Richard Victor, obviously the inspiration for, as we know here. Okay. Also a certified financial planner professional, former stockbroker. Just created a program for 401k plan participants, an education program that really is very comprehensive and basically works on the premise that everything you need is online right now for free. All the hard work's been done for you, and I show you exactly what to do and how to do it. In fact, I'm looking for some beta testers, so if there's companies who have a 401k plan and would like to hopefully increase participation, I'd like to beta test it with that program so I can get a real before and after read on that. So thanks a lot.
Tremendous. Thanks both of you to join us. Now, let's take advantage. Who's got a question or comment or anything for Sue while she's here? Because she is on the pulse of small business lending in the United States, which is in its death throes because the bureaucrats just don't get it. Where banks have no money, angel investors are with the angels and the fishes. Venture capitalists non-exist in the state of Arizona. We have to figure out ways to survive. We have to be clever. We have to use trade source barter. We have to find every imaginable way to do what we need to get done, mostly by networking internally and doing business with each other. That's the best, safest bet. But we still need some gas in the tank. We need that small money. We need Sue's money in order to be able to conduct business. If they turn off the faucet at the SBA with these 2 mongrels, we got to figure out another alternative. Or we get rid of them. Get rid of the impediment. Run them on a rail. Let's tell everybody who they are. I'll help. I'd love to do stuff like that.
So,
I have to seek legal counsel before I do that.
We have a lawyer.
Do we use
We have a lawyer. She's our lawyer. There.
Do we YouTube
so
on
where
them?
are their names?
Yeah, do we YouTube on them?
Seriously, we're not
If they
exactly
work
shy.
Please.
They work for us. She's got to be careful.
I'll be careful.
I'll tell you if I find out. I'll tell every one of you.
That you want to press it, or that there's an issue with how they're handling things, I'm serious. I want their names.
Yeah, but she can't be the one to do it.
I came up through to where I'm at a different way than Leanne did. I worked my way up to the bottom within the political party system, and I still have sold. So
That's a rarity.
It is.
Yeah. Thank you.
I can stay on the Million Man of Rocky Horror with these guys. No, you
I'll
don't have to do
tell
it
you-
right now. You
yeah,
you
thank
can
you.
tell me later,
Thank
but
you.
I'm sure if you give me their names,
I will.
I will pass it on.
Thank you.
So,
Because we need to do something to save small business. I also, I'm, since I started this program, I've gotten very involved with banks across the United States. So I sit on a consortium with the Community Banks Association, the ABA. They have a small arm that's called the Community Banks. And on the conference call with them a week ago Friday, even the presidents of these community banks were very, very discouraged. They do have money that they want to loan out, but their problem is their hands are so tied by FDIC. Because they had to raise so much capital to put up, because as you know, their insurance went from $100,000 to $250,000 on deposit. So that means they have to put more money aside. Plus, they got cash calls. I don't know how many of you realize how much cash calls. They got 15 times their average on cash calls to shore up the banks that were going under. So good banks that did nothing wrong, that were part of their communities, that were lending and very progressive in their communities, all of a sudden they couldn't lend anymore either.
Right, the commercial banks, have the FDIC and the comptroller have lowered the limits of which they can lend, and they've also increased their cash, the cash depository requirements. I've been working with a couple, community banks myself, and trying to, understand what they need from a business standpoint. And it's difficult for them because
Nobody qualifies.
Because it's
Yeah.
the red tape again. It's what's
Right.
going on in Washington. There's so much red tape to shore up the ones that did do monkey business. But most of all of us out here, we didn't do monkey business. We were minding our own business and just trying to make a living. I did a survey for small businesses. What they want to do is make a living, put a roof over their head, food on their table, and educate their children. 99.9% of them, that's what the surveys came back. These aren't hobbies, these are businesses. Yes, some want to take them and hit grand slams like you did, absolutely. Some have, some haven't. But does that mean they stopped trying? Absolutely not. And I never want a small business to stop trying. I never want it, yes.
Is this a political overreaction to what happened 2 years ago in the meltdown of the financials?
some of it is.
Some of it is,
I mean,
yeah.
again, the credit, worthiness aspect of most of the banking credit, departments, went from very loose all the way to real tight,
Right.
and they haven't exactly gotten to equilibrium yet.
What I was
Same
gonna
with
ask
finance
is
scoring.
it would be more fair to characterize it as a regulatory overreaction? And now that we've had that and everything's tightened up, we do see politics from the aspect of only those particular institutions or individuals who are favorable to a particular administration are finding the ability to get things done.
so what's an alternative to your choice?
Alternative my source,
Not money, but I mean, another avenue to go to other than SBA.
my problem is I'm an SBA licensed lender, so I hold my license through SBA.
I have
This is
an
what they're-
alternative. Our group just started a program where we fund people through their EIN numbers and help create their credit separate of their personal. And then people are still getting lent money, I mean, to a certain degree, maybe not the huge, big amounts that she can do with SBA, but we have a program available. If anybody's interested, they can talk to me afterwards. We actually help people build their credit under their EIN numbers, and you can see results in the first 30 days, and as you continue to follow the steps, you'll get more and more money as we continue.
I think that's not cash.
I mean, honestly, that's a great idea. I'd like to see how that works.
Yeah.
Chase has spent a lot of money doing
Yeah.
the $20 billion advertising marketing thing. So is that real, or is that smoke and mirrors?
Well,
Lot of
again,
talk.
take it, I mean, I'm a CFO for rent. I bring companies that have good, strong balance sheets, good income statements. We were talking about, I hand carried one into a bank. Local, restaurant that's been there for 10 years, they have standing room only in the morning. Got turned down within about 28 minutes.
a lot of it's a lot of talking. We've been hearing on CNN and MSNBC about how small business is what it's all about and everyone's helping it. It's all talk. There is absolutely no execution and no action. It's cheap sound bites.
Yeah, I mean,
And it's time that we hold their feet to the fire, so to speak, and say, okay, we're tired. And they think we're a bunch of fools out here. They don't think we can connect the dots. We can connect the dots, and we need to connect the dots.
yeah, very
Yes.
efficiently, yeah.
What happened to the stimulus money?
I didn't get my check either.
Do you have a new road somewhere?
Well, no, I mean, yeah,
Propping up
a
the
lot,
stock
a lot of
market.
that stimulus money was supposed to go into K through 12 education. At least that's what we heard. I've got a document on my computer that says, here's what Arizona is getting allocated for 2009 and 2010. You know, one of my clients specifically distributes into that marketplace. They got exactly 0 from the school districts because, you know, the school districts, you know, can't afford to balance their own budget.